Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. This is Kendra. Yawning. So, we are moving into 2025. So, welcome to you're welcome to escape with me into the world of Wreck-It Ralph. So, we are doing fairy tales this year. I am, however, filming this on the 30th of November, but nonetheless, why am I doing Wreck-It Ralph? Well, technically there is in fact a princess in this film. It's not a fairy tale. Though I suppose it can be considered a fairy tale. So, Wreck-It Ralph came out in 2012. I just watched it. It is based in the world of video games. So, what's interesting about this is the main character, Wreck-It Ralph, is the bad guy in a arcade game called Fix-It Felix. And Felix, basically, Ralph's character destroys things, Felix fixes things, and Ralph is getting sick of being the bad guy. So so he decides it's the 30th anniversary of the game, and they've been around obviously for a long time, and he's sick of being the bad guy. So they're having a big celebration. He had gone to basically the bad guy's version of brain. Basically the type of meeting you go to when you're addicted to things. It's a meeting for villains who need to accept who they are as villains, essentially. And they're having a big party, and he wants to be part of it, only he wrecks things. And so he's like, if I win a medal, will you accept me? And they're like, fine, just go away. So he goes to talk to a bartender in a different game, because they do this when the arcade is closed. So that's kind of what's going on. They do all of this when the arcade is closed and they're able to interact as characters. So basically he gets no answers, and then he runs into a character from a more of a military game, and he knocks out the guy, locks him in a closet, and takes his uniform. And basically goes into that game, screws everything up when somebody is playing, because now everything's turned back on. His game is now out of order because he is not there to wreck things, so therefore Felix can't fix things. So he gets the medal, again, when that game isn't, when nobody's playing that game, and they get really mad at him. And then he runs off, and he ends up stealing one of their ships and crash landing into a racing game called Sugar Rush. And in Sugar Rush, he runs into a character by the name of Vanellope, who apparently is a glitch. And she wants to race the game, but they will not let her because they think the game will go out of order. And he's told by the king of the game that if she wins the race, they'll be considered out of order, and the game will be shut down, and she won't be able to leave because glitches can't leave the game, while everybody else can. We're grabbing a cat here. So Ralph does the bad thing and destroys the car he helped create and goes back to his game, only everybody's left because basically he's not there, and everybody's gotten scared about the game being destroyed. And they would have to go back to what it amounts to be Grand Central Station, and they would be homeless and have no game because their game has been unplugged, so they have to escape. So he gets the penthouse, but while he's in the penthouse, he throws something at what amounts to be the visual part, the outdoor of the game. And across the aisle in the actual arcade is the Sugar Rush game. And on the side of the game is Vanellope. So he realizes something's up. Why is she not allowed to race if she's supposed to be a character in that game? So he goes back, kind of beats the crap out of one of the things. It's like, she was supposed to be in the game. We don't know why. The king did something. And then he locked up our memories, so we do not remember. We literally do not know. But he doesn't want her to win the race because then she will reset the game. So he fixes her car, apologizes. Well, actually, no. Felix has been chasing her along with the leader of the game that Felix stole the medal from. So he's the... And why falling in love? Yes, there's that. Fix-It Felix is falling in love with a commando woman, which is kind of interesting. But he's been locked up by the king, who's trying to find them because obviously he does not want the game to reset. So, and all this time, you had this backstory of this game called Turbo. And it was replaced, and eventually Turbo, the character, got mad because nobody was playing his game anymore. He took over the game that had replaced him and destroyed both of them, so they were both unplugged. So going Turbo is basically destroying your game and somebody else's game, basically dementomenting everybody. So that's what they think Ralph is doing, rather than just trying to be a hero. Kendra, do not attack me. Kendra, viciously biting cat. But, so yes, that tidbit of information is in fact important. So the problem is when Ralph also got back into the Candy Crush game, he brought basically the destroyers, the bad guys of the game that he was in. So now they're destroying everything. And it gets to the point where they realize that the king of this game who shut everybody off is in fact Turbo. So he was the one who changed everything. So he could be king and run the races. And he's the one who turned Vanellope into a glitch because she was one of the original racers. And so basically she has to win that race. Unfortunately, then things start getting destroyed. But she can't get out. They're trying to destroy the NY. They're trying to get everybody else out. Ralph tries to leaves and goes to destroy this guy. And basically set off this Mentos soda fountain. So, but she rescues him before he dies because he says basically if your character dies in your other game, you can't regenerate. So she rescues him, and then they're able to essentially create this volcano, which creates a giant beam of light, which attracts these bug things, so including our Turbo, who's now turned into one of the bug things somehow. And they're basically destroyed in the light. And then they push Vanellope over the finish line, and it resets the game. And turns out she's a princess. So she's the original ruler of the game. So now she's a princess. Only she jumps out of the whole princess thing. It's like, I'm still me. And so the end is, of course, Ralph goes back to his game. Everything kind of goes back to normal to an extent that instead he built a home out of, because he's sleeping in a junkyard full of bricks. So he built a house. He invites some of these homeless game members that are hanging out to join their game and help him wreck things. And then Felix builds them homes. And he's still friends with Vanellope. Felix marries the commando woman. In video game world. And of course, by bringing in these new Wreck-It things, they make the Wreck-It Fix-It Felix far more interesting. So now it's popular again. So it's an interesting ending, of course. And then Felix, before he's knocked, Ralph, before he's knocked off the building, he's able to get a glimpse of Vanellope's game, the Sugar Rush, across the way, and he's able to see her. And again, they're still friends. So it's a cute game looking into the world of video games, which of course is not really my thing, but it's a fun not interactive, but it's a fun film that has video game characters doing different things and acting like sentient beings. So it's very, very fun. I will be reviewing, they have a second film, which is Ralph Wrecks the Internet, which I will be reviewing shortly. In fact, I'll probably put these things on the same day, so you guys will be getting a double feature on the first Friday in January, and then we'll move on to fairy tales. So I really enjoyed this film. It's about an hour and a half. Let me pull it up here. I have it up here. It's an hour and 40 minutes. So if your child can sit through that long, then it's great for kids of all ages. Mine can't. She's 5. We still haven't watched the Disney princess films because she's just not one for sitting still. So, but we will get there. I highly recommended it. It's very, very fun. It's a great family film, so it's a good film to watch with everybody, because I think there's literally in it, there's something in it for everybody. There literally is. So I enjoyed this film. I'm glad I bought it. Yeah, this is right from the right library. I actually bought it. A lot of the Disney films I will be reviewing. I do actually own, because we bought it. My daughter's really into the Disney princesses. She's just not into the films. So, because again, she can't sit still. So, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I will be doing Disney princesses and Lion King, and as much as I detest Disney as a corporation, Kendra, stop attacking things. They're popular, they're interesting, my kids into them, and there is no denying that they do really good animation. Their live action is we'll be talking about that. We'll be doing. I've already reviewed Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, so you can check those out. I will be looking at Cinderella yet again, because seriously, there's a lot of iterations of Cinderella. So, check out the rest of the channel. And if you like what you see and are interested in more reviews of Disney princesses and their original tales and various other things, come and check me out and lose yourself in my videos. Thank you.